looking to see which one of these two players will go face Kal Haman in the final. So, starting with our blue player, DeadlyBunnies, who has brought the Beastmen to the field of battle. As always, let me know if game sound and all that is loud enough. Maybe it's just me, but it seems a little quiet. So, starting we're with the Beastmans. I just said we're with the Beastmans. Anyways, I'm going to have 4 units of Ungor Spearman Herd. Going to have 3 Gore Herd with shields. 2 Gore Herd and 1 with shields, being the Black Horns Ravagers. Going to have 3 Ungor Raiders for that missile support. 4 Centigores and 2 Chaos Warhounds with poison. Overall, liking the composition of this army so far. For the leadership squad, we're going to have 2 chariots here, one being ridden by a Brave Shaman of Wild with Traderkin, Devolve, and, or is that Vile Tide? I always forget the 2 of them. No, yeah, it's Devolve. And the Jagged Dagger. We got Kazrak on top of his. He's going to have Apocalyptic Vision as well as the Dark Mail. And then we have Mr. Gorbel here with the Slaughterer's Call, I believe. And, Blood Greed, and that's going to be it. So, that rounds out our Beastman force. Let's go take a look at the Greenskins. Hey, Goblin Slayer. Hey, Biggie Schmalls. No, it's okay. If it's okay, though, the final I'll just do myself. But, yeah, feel free to cast this match, bud. But the finals, I'm greedy, and I like to cast by myself. Now, hey, Halloween, good to see you, too. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at our red player here, Viking, with the Greenskins. Going to start on this right flank. Going to have 2 Forest Goblin Spider Riders. Savage Orc Biggins look like they're going to make up the bulk of the infantry formation. Looks like we have 4 of them. 3 Gobbos interspersed between them. 2 more Forest Goblin Spider Riders on the left flank. And a Broken Tusk Mob, ROR Orc Boar Boy Biggins. Also going to be looking here at a Rogue Idol, which is always fun to see. And then we're going to have Azag the Slaughterer up in the air with Spirit Leech, as well as Doom and Darkness with Azag's Ard Armor, Slagus Slashes, and get on with it. Hey, David Hernando, good to see you. Gabo, I've never co-casted with you before, so that sounds like a fun thing to try out. Why the hell not, dude? We can hop in right after this battle, since you're still casting this one. Anyways, back to the battle here. That's weird, I can see him making his circles. Going to be seeing the Beastmen and the Greenskins coming to grips. Now, right off the bat, you know, Beastmen really going to be outmatched in the infantry department, in my humble opinion. But with those 2 chariots, that is definitely the kind of tool you need just to, help balance it out. So you can charge in with the chariots on top of these Savage Orc Biggins. And it does look like the Ungor Raiders are going to be targeting these unarmored infantry units first thing. So right now, Greenskins pushing forward, Beastmen holding their ground. All right, Centigores coming in for a charge. And those Savage Orc Biggins taking a ton of damage over here. Azag diving in, Doom and Darkness going down. But it looks like the Centigores and the Warhounds are going to pull out. Warhound's going to get that terror out, but checking over here, we're going to see that we have Centigores, Savage Orc Biggins, and Forest Goblin Spider Riders all fighting each other over enough time. This is definitely going to go to Savage Orcs. But Savage Orcs in the center lines taking a lot of damage against the Beastmen infantry. And over here, Beastmen even getting a rout on top of one of those Savage Orc Biggins. Right now, we do see Gorbel fighting the Broken Tusk mob. And all things considered, the Beastmen doing pretty well here. And, I see at least what looks like 1 routing Savage Orc, another one about to be routing. But the Greenskins are doing much better on the right flank, and we got to keep in mind here the Rogue Idol has taken little to no damage. And really the best tool the Beastmen have to deal with it is going to be the Broken Tusk mob, who are taking damage, and Gorbel. So we're going to keep a close eye on them, because without those 2 tools, it's going to be very, very difficult for them to drag down this Rogue Idol. Nice, Neckbat. Congrats. You got to play your dreadful pointy ears for the first battle every time. Alright. Rogue Idol body slamming the Gorbel. Kalvar, thank you for the follow. I mean, Beastman getting a lot of good work done and, you know, routing off a lot of the key infantry, but, you know, we still have one full health biggin. We have Forest Goblin Spider Riders that are routing off a lot of units on the peripheries, but as I say that, we're going to see Centaurs coming in to intercept. And it just looks like the Beastmen and the Greenskins, when it comes to the peripheries of the battlefield, the Beastmen coming out on top, and in the center, Greenskins, you know, proving to be a very difficult nut to crack. Right now, Gorbel taking a ton of damage. We'll see the Broken Tusk Mob shatter, so that's a big win for the Greenskins, but still the problem is here is that Rogue Idol and Azag still very healthy, and Gorbel is now routing, and that's one of those key units we were mentioning earlier. So Broken Tusk Mob and Gorbel both routing. Can the Beastmen pull down this Rogue Idol without him? Right now we still see some Ungor Raiders here. Looks like they're going to be targeting into the big guns. Nice targeting there. And then we're going to have a lot of Centaurs hitting them in the flank as soon as they break through those goblins. Balance of power still favoring the Beastmen at the moment. Alright, Bray Shaman, Kazarak coming over here. Oh man, Bray Shaman getting a big hit on top of him from the Rogue Idol. Another huge hit, and those were just painful to see, especially when, you know, clearly not needing to put themselves in that position. Nice micro here. Centaur is really getting a ton of value, and the fact that he still has 3 of them that are over half health is quite impressive. Also, got to remember the Poison Warhounds are here too, and actually all 4 Centaurs are still here with good health. And I just think that mobility, you know, even though the Rogue Idol is going to be difficult, oh man, with that mobility, the Beastmen should be able to just like mop up everything piecemeal, and then just, you know, rout the Rogue Idol with by debuffing its leadership with the surrounds. Ungor Raiders going to be hitting Savage Orc Biggins. Or sorry, Ungor Spearmen. It looks like the Beastmen are going to be playing this very cautiously, regrouping, recognizing that there's 2 terror-causing units here in this Greenskin army. And, you know, I've seen it happen countless times before where, you know, Beastmen are in a good spot, but terror routes kicking in, and it just causes them to lose the game. So playing it safe here, like the plays from DeadlyBunnies. Viking also playing it pretty safe here as well, it seems, just trying to stay grouped up, not allowing his forces to get pulled apart, and now he is just chasing the slowest unit that he can catch, and, you know, trying to avoid getting surrounded. Alright, Beastmen tightening the noose, surrounding the remaining Greenskin forces, and this is going to be the last stand. 89 troops left. You see them all right here. And then the Beastmen still have solid 313 to be working with here, and an Ungor Raider with plenty of ammunition to fulfill that attacking rule. And, you know, it looks like he's just going to take advantage of that non-stop, shoot down these Savage Orc Biggins, and wait until it's just Azag and the Rogue Idol. Alright, now Gorbel going after the Rogue Idol. Looks like they're going for the full surround, but Doom and Darkness is a thing. Azag's probably going to be going for that pretty soon here. There it goes. Or is that actually coming from the Beastmen? Alright, going to be seeing a Traitorkin. Azag's Art Armor's in here. But Rogue Idol really taking a lot of damage over here. The last of the Savage Orcs probably going to be routing pretty soon here as the Poison Warhounds come in for a rear charge. Archers shooting down the Rogue Idol. Kazrak and the Brave Shaman just doing their cycle charge. And now they're going to come over here and finish off the Savage Orcs. And now it's just going to be, you know, 2 single entities against the rest of the Beastman forces. And I don't think the Greenskin leadership will be able to hold up to that. So let's go in for some cinematics here as these players fight it out in the last moments of the battle. Big terror routes kicking in. Very big terror routes. Is this going pear-shaped? Oh, chat, we don't know. Oh, a huge hit on top of Kazrak. Is the Rogue Idol about to go down right now, though? Oh, it still has 1,000 HP. Another huge hit on top of Kazrak, but now the Rogue Idol is routing. It is routing, maybe going down. Kazrak terror routing. Azag coming over here to try and finish off these Centaurs. It looks like he should be able to get an easy route. There he goes, both of them now routing. The rest of the Beastman forces now regrouping, though, and the Rogue Idol is dead, and Azag is going to have to land or lose, as he is the last greenskin model on the field. Yeah, some very nice mobility micro here from the Beastmen. But right now, Greenskin leadership thinking they still have a chance to win this. And honestly, I can't blame them. One Spirit Leech and a Terror out on top of this leadership. And you can quickly see the remainder of this Beastman army routing off the field. And that would be a painful thing to see, but it could still happen at this point with Azag as healthy as he is. Azag picking his target, and it's going to be Kazrak. He's going to not get the charge off, though, and not getting that charge off is probably going to be the defeat. And some beautiful micro here. All of the Centaurs just piled in on top of Azag, and he's going to be stuck in combat and killed off. A GG, a great first game in this semifinal between DeadlyBunnies and the Viking. Pretentious experts. I didn't know that's what the PE clan stood for. Not bad. But no, this is a very nice game. Always happy to see a good Beastman player in terms of just microing this mobility arm of his army to like near perfection. Like really good work. I mean, his Ungor Raiders, one of them got really good value. That one that was alive there till the bitter end. Goreherd did well for themselves too. I mean, all in all, I mean, just army very well played. Gorbel got knocked out. But what you gonna do? I think I was mistakenly combining Burke and Tuskmob and Gorbel together throughout that battle, so my apologies. They're clearly on opposite sides. But yeah, very nice game from DeadlyBunnies there. The Centaur play on point. Nice job with the Chariot play too. And to the Viking, I like this army quite a bit. I can see why, you know, Beastman may struggle against a Rogue Idol. He got a ton of value, definitely paid for himself there. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, just, you know, maybe, I'm not sure. I mean, I like this Greenskin army, but I think the biggest weakness here that's on full display is it has no missile force whatsoever. You know, there's no skirmish cav, there's no foot skirmishers, and the Greenskins, you know, have both of those and good numbers and variety. So really think you needing to see that that ranged branch of his army. He had the chap, he had the mobility, but he just didn't have the ranged, and I think that may have cost him the game there, because this build was just a little less versatile than this Beastman build, whereas the Beastman build, it had a lot more, potential for combined units tactics. Hello?
Hello!
Hey, everybody in the chat, let me know if you can hear him loud and clear. And can you say something again, Mr. Gabo?
Sally sells seashells by the seashore.
Well, there you have it. That seems to work. How's your day going, man?
It's going well. I get to relax and stream, have a chill stream of your tournament, so everything's been good.
Well, I'm happy to hear it. I'm always happy to have a chill stream of a tournament, and I am sorry to see you did get knocked out, but congrats on making it all the way to the semis.
Oh, thank you. That's all right. Kyle Harmon played very well, so he definitely deserved the win there.
Yeah.
Wait, are we on Pillar of Bone again?
Wait, I thought I told them they couldn't repeat maps, but I guess I don't really care. No, because Pretentious Expert did pick. He was the one who asked if you could replay maps, too. I think this was a purposeful pick.
Said he forgot. Are you going to rule on a rehost?
Yeah, I'm going to say, if you disagree, rehost. If you agree, play here. Yep. If both players are fine playing on this map, I truly don't care. And so that's typically how I need to handle them moving forward. It's just if they agree, go ahead. If they disagree, then I will make the decision to rehost. Who do you think some of the best generic lords are, though? So I'd have to say Vampire Coast has some pretty strong ones.
Yeah, Vampire Coast have some good generic lords. Definitely not orcs. Let's see. Wood Elves, probably.
Oh, that's a very good one now.
Wood Elves have some very good generic lords, and they also have access to generic caster lords now, same as High Elves. So, like, those High Elves and Wood Elves have some very good generic lords. Mm-hmm. Trying to think.
Not the Empire.
Not the Empire.
Not Bretonia.
Not Bretonia. Yeah, definitely not.
The Beast Lord isn't bad, but he's definitely not as good as the Legendary Lord options.
If only Sirtha Ek generic Lord was a thing.
Yeah. But anyways, I digress. Would you like the Vampire Counts or the Warriors of Chaos?
Oh, okay. Man, I could just think about I'm just thinking about generic lords all day here.
I know.
So for the non-generic lord here, we have Manfred von Karstein on a undead Pegasus, leading the forces of the Viking. We also are going to have the Chillgeist on one flank over here, the Claw of Nagash in the back. We're going to have a Necromancer on a corpse cart, I think actually an Unholy Lodestone corpse cart. Unholy Lodestone with the Scroll Shielding and the Forbidden Rod. We also have a unit of Crypt Horrors, and then a unit of Feldats, and then just a front line of zombies, Skeleton Spearmen, three Graveguard with Great Weapons, and that's going to be about it.
Very nice little army here, and for the Chaos Forces, going to have a relatively small force at 514, outnumbered almost 3-1 by the Vampires, but we're going to have the Demon Spew Forsaken. Going to have Chaos Warriors with Halberds on either flank. Got Chosen in the back line. Dead center, we're going to have 2 Chaos Giants. Got a Chaos Sorcerer of Fire on foot. This Chaos Sorcerer has Burning Head, Flaming Sword of Ruin, and Fireball. With that Kindle Flame, of course. We're going to have Marauder Horsemen, what appears to be 4 of them. And then Prince Sigvald the Magnificent. Can you believe
I love the Sigvald and the double giant picks. It's it's very slow, but against vampire counts, if you're boxing, that doesn't really matter too much.
Yeah, and you have the mobility still in the form of the Marauder Horseman, so still has something to counter that mobility and isn't completely helpless against it.
Yeah, and without any Terror Geese or anything Dragon, it's not going to be very easy. Well, that's not true. They could Spirit Leech the Chaos Sorcerer of Fire out, but Chaos Sorcerer of Fire will still be able to use it most of his wins of magic before he dies to Spirit Leeching. He's not going to be able to get gooned. Yep, and there is the first Spirit Leech on the Chaos Sorcerer of Fire.
Indeed,
Burning Head
here
going
comes
down.
Burning Head. Doing some
Very
good
nice.
damage. Yeah.
Yeah, that was some very good damage on top of the Chill Geist.
Mm-hmm.
And the Demon Spew going to be chewing through these zombies. And we're going to need to see that that Claw of Nagash get in there pretty soon to start draining the Elite Chaos Infantry down.
Absolutely. I've been curious why it's been holding back so long. But, yeah, Demon Spew doing some beautiful work up in the front line. And so far, some good magic. But, oh, now look at the Marauder Horseman as the Claw of Nagash has come in.
Yep, then that one unit of Fell Bats I don't think is going to be able to stop 4 units of Marauder Horsemen. And the Claw of Nagash takes so much damage from the Giant and Sigvald and the Horseman.
Yeah, this Chaos Army doing really well so far. I mean, in what is typically considered a very difficult matchup. So right now we'll see if the Vampire counts can get back on balance.
There's really no mobility from the Vampire count, so there's really nothing that... And even if single unit of Chill Geist is not enough because they have Flaming Sword, they can just engage them in melee or shoot them with the Flaming Sword. And that we might be seeing that right now. Yep, the Flaming Sword did go down, but the Chill Geist did pull back. You're going to be getting chased and take a big volley. That was a lot of damage.
Yeah, with that magic damage, even a volley as they're running away is going to do a ton of damage. But now look, Claw of Nagash coming back and, having to pull back almost immediately.
This Chaos Army just feels like a porcupine, where anytime you get near it, you're just getting poked at by something very, very big and spiky.
Indeed, indeed. I mean, and these Burning Heads continuing to just delete Vampire count units. But one thing I have to point out that I just noticed is, there are still 3 Graveguard with great weapons who have not done anything yet. But will that be enough to claw through the Beastmen when you have 2 Giants who are still full health?
A nice zombie summon, getting on top of the Horsemen, going to bog them down. That's a really good cast.
Indeed.
And so the Chill Geists are basically at their healing cap now. Claw of Nagash is half health, but still alive. And now I think he needs to strike with the Chill Geist while the Flaming Sword is on cooldown.
Yeah. It looks like he's trying to go in right now, but I think that Flaming Sword is probably about ready again.
And I don't know if Graveguard, even with being buffed up by the Corpse Cart and the Mortis Engine, are enough to tear down Chosen. We'll have to see as the game progresses. I don't know if you know the answer to that.
I think it would be a lot more even since the Graveguard are great weapons. I do put my money on the Chosen, though, probably like 8 times out of 10. But obviously Chaos has the multiplying factor with the 2 Giants, so that's why I think the Graveguard don't really stand a chance against Chosen as long as these Giants are supporting them.
Chill Geists actually have gone on to some of the Marauder Horsemen in the back now with the help of some zombie summons.
Oh man, that is some really good value they're getting right there. I mean, 2 of them down half health, but problem is look how much ammunition they still have, and like you said earlier, the Vampires have not enough mobility to route these guys off the field.
Yeah, let's see. The Firecaster is terrified, actually. I'm not sure. I think just continuous Spirit Leeches onto the caster has been whittling him down, and he actually got terrified, I think, just by being near the Mortis Engine.
Yeah.
So he's not in range to get the Flaming Sword off because the Chill Geists are so far in the back now. And Chaos really do need to finish off that Mortis Engine in the late game. Nice Burning Head going down, though. It's going to clear out a lot of the Vampire troops, and yeah, I don't think those Graveguard are holding up too well.
Yeah, no, that Burning Head especially just debuffing their leadership with that burnt trait, and now you have Halberds coming into the back and like the Crypt Cores crumbling out. I think these Giants and the Elite Chaos Infantry can handle this center block, but I do think the Vampires made a nice play. They're routing off a lot of
one of the Giants just got 2 big hits in on that Mortis Engine. Oh, and another one.
Why is it staying there so close?
There's no mobility to pin in these Giants. They're just basically waddling through zombies, smashing whatever they want.
Yeah, he's got nothing to work off of right now, especially with the Crypt Cores on their way out. They're really the only things with that mass they need.
Oh, and this Necromancer on the Corpse Guard is going to be fearfully cackling here as he's got 2 Giants bearing down on him.
And a very handsome Prince Sigvald, too, just in case the
yeah.
Giants don't get it done. But, I mean, do the Vampires have anything to deal with Sigvald and the Giants at this point?
I don't know if they ever really did.
That's a good point, because, I mean, the Spirit Leeches had to be used on the caster, but that means what have you been dragging down these Giants and Sigvald with, you know? Both...
Like, the Spearmen in the Graveguard, technically, but as long as the Giants are buffered by, these stalwart Chosen, and, have Sigvald there also, fire magic, yeah.
I mean, 2 very impressive wins here from Deadly Bunnies, especially this one right here is, I'm a firm believer that any matchup is winnable, but this one is one of the ones I would consider a bit more difficult to win for Chaos. But what did you attribute that to? You think this is more of like a coming out in the drawing boards? You had mentioned that they never had anything to deal with Sigvald and the Giants.
Well, I think they just didn't have a good mobility game. So, like, if they had shut down the Horsemen, like, really early on, and then the Mortis engine could have gone from side to side and Mortis down the Chosen more, and then because at that point then you're relying on the width of your infantry as the vampire counts to drag down the single entities in late game, which is viable, but you really need to take out the and surround the chaos forces if that's the case. And there just wasn't any mobility from the there was a little bit of mobility, but not enough from the vampire counts to do that.
Yeah. Now I'm starting to see here, catching up on the chat here. And hey, be kind. It's also, after this long, this is when mistakes can be made. And also,
and also Viking may have been expecting a very different kind of build.
Absolutely.
From Chaos. Like, for example, if the Chaos player didn't bring Horsemen, didn't bring mobility, and just went pure melee, then this build would have been a lot better against that kind of thing.
And you can expect that build sometimes from certain Chaos players, although I'm always an advocate of Marauder Horsemen in this matchup, especially because it's just one faction has a no skirmish potential, the other one by no means is a strong skirmish faction compared to other factions, so it's why not flex that advantage in this one matchup where they really do have the edge in that department.
And the Graveguard Grey Opens did get good value, despite the loss from the vampire counts. They all paid for themselves.
Oh, it's absolutely true. Mortis Engine did have a rough time there, though, and those Horsemen, I think he hit the nail on the head. They just needed at least a Direwolf somewhere in here.
A couple Direwolves, or
more Fellbats, maybe. I don't know. Just something to, provide the numbers to chase down these Horsemen.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a very sturdy Horseman force there. And you saw there, it didn't take much for the Horsemen to get compromised. Just a couple zombie summons and a charge from the Chill Guy. So if you just had a couple Hounds to back them up, it could have made a huge difference.
Absolutely. Guarantee you would have had a lot of dead Horsemen earlier in the game, especially with those summons where it's just
maybe drop the Crypt Horror since it didn't do much, and then just get a couple Hounds.
Yeah, I think that'd be a perfect trade, especially in hindsight. Because really, he got the summons down, and that was nice. But when he got the summon down, a lot of the cases, the only thing coming down to punish him for getting caught was Manfred. And that's just, not quite enough to delete a unit by himself.
Right.
Oh, look at this. Carl Hamann coming in as soon as I exited the battle.
We'll make sure that they pick a different map this time.
Well, the final has a different map pool, so
there you go.
Should not have that trouble. DM